Hey community group leaders and teachers, I hope y'all are doing well, having a fabulous day. Hey, I'm excited to bring to you this week's Leadership Minute. This is one more tool that we can have in our tool belt to lead more effectively. Today I want to talk a little bit more about these three concepts in terms of discipleship and what does that mean? Know, be, and do. You know, we've been talking the last couple weeks about this idea of developing Jesus followers who learn to impact their neighbors, their family, their city, and the world with the hope of the gospel. And so I want to talk today specifically about what does that look like? How can we really develop that and nurture out this concept of know, be, and do? Last week, if you remember, I asked you specifically to look at everyone in your community group and identify where people are at, if they're even before the know category, if maybe they're not walking with Jesus yet, to know they know who Jesus is, they know what Jesus did in and through the cross, and they've accepted that reality for their lives. B, they're actually cultivating these disciplines and are learning how to daily spend time with God in prayer, or do, where they're actually living out their faith and learning how to multiply it. If they're at any of these stages, I want to talk about this next step. How do we transition the arrow? How do we move someone from one phase to the next phase? How do we effectively get them to go there? And so I want to suggest a couple of simple things so that if someone is in the not know category yet, they have yet to say yes to Jesus, it's as simple as just explaining the gospel and inviting them to say yes to Jesus and accept the gospel, to surrender to Jesus and start the radical journey of walking with Him. Once they know Jesus in their head, they know the sacrifice that Jesus has done, the next step is help them transition from know to be, to cultivating those disciplines. This is where it requires a little more intentionality for each of us to spend time challenging people to start reading their Bible every day, to start praying every day, maybe to start worshiping or start fasting or engaging in some other spiritual disciplines. And so for that, some of that requires one-on-one discipleship where you're intentionally meeting with them once a week, once every other week. You're asking them questions about how are they doing to grow in their faith. Maybe you're reading a Bible study plan with them. Maybe you're walking through the spiritual development guide that we've created here at the church. But you use those as vehicles through which you can help them grow and challenge them to start practicing being in the presence of God, practicing spending time knowing God and growing closer to Him, being in His presence every day. If you know people in your group are definitely here where they're spending time every day growing with God, being with God, well, then we need to challenge them to take that heart knowledge, take that time that they're spending with God, and then do something with it to multiply their faith, to step out of their comfort zones, to spend time intentionally challenging people around them to surrender to Jesus. Maybe offering to pray for people around them, or maybe it's as simple as just having intentional gospel conversations to live out loud what they know to be true is on the inside, so that other people can know and experience the same peace and the same hope that they've come to know and experience. And so with each of these steps, the biggest step is investing in people. It's either investing in them with the knowledge of what does it mean to accept Jesus. It's investing in them, what are the tools and resources that we have to grow with God, to be with God, to be in God's presence. Or investing in them, what are the things that we can do to multiply our faith? In every case, it requires a little bit of investment and it looks a little different from one level of maturity to the next level of maturity. But in every case, as we are intentional in investing in everyone in our community group, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text, whether it's actually having coffee with them, we will help them transition from knowing to being to doing, to living out their faith, to being Jesus followers who become difference makers for a world of people far from God. Thank you again for joining me for this Leadership Minute. I hope this is one more tool that will help you effectively multiply your faith and know how to disciple those in your community group. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to shoot me an email or text. I'll be glad to get back with you soon, and I look forward to giving you many more of these. Hey, blessings.